a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And they're going to start this drive in pretty... Good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, let's go. Switch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Go. Watch the safety creep. Check 24. Watch 24.
Murray now on first down. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They'll run on first down. McKinley, he'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Check three, check three. Set. Kill it, motion me out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll run it now with Bumford. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Now on 1st and goal, a chance to get a leg up in this NFC title game. They'll try to run this one in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Hey, green lady! Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
They'll run for the first time here with Matt Breida. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go, D.
Play action. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He finds an opening past the 40. That's complete to John Ross. And all the way up to the 46. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Quick, 315. Right there, 54 Mike. Squeeze, double. Check. Healer.
Now Wilson on first down. Going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for the Saints. 41 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deshaun Jackson there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Check 50. Sit.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Grant. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
And the Saints signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Montez Sweat coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Murray now, 3rd and goal. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Montez Sweat, his 2nd sack of the night. These two teams all tied after 1. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey! Go!
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? To throw is Wilson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Wilson. He's got it to Williams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Touch Missy, touch Missy. All right, here we go. Let's go, Green, let's go. Alert. Kill.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. This is Breida on the draw. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
25, check 25. 14. Right there. 54 Mike. I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. He's got daylight. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick-6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position and throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd down and more.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He's going to let this go deep for Jim. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
On first down, McKinley. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Ready. Mark 55. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Shift. Slam. Mike 55. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
You ain't doing nothing today. Check.
Murray fighting, lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. The 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Let's go, boys.
Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready? Mike 54. Hey, here we go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. 30, 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken very short. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24. Yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Shit, shit. Watch the shit. Check.
They run the draw here with Pumphrey. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go now. Watch it to Pittsburgh. All day. Okay. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 31. Check 31. Kill, kill, kill.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Watch the eye. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Mike, 55. 51. Let's watch. Mike. We want it. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno. 55's Mike, guys, 55. Watch the sleep on Booker. Switch, switch, switch. Check your hot read.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. They're going for it. It's Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, 29 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
50's the mark. We got it. Big Ed. There. Check.
Wilson now. Going to throw again. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wilson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Watch twins.
Throwing on first down. Metcalf. And he's going to let it go deep. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On second down, McKinley. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He went through
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Check for you.
They'll keep it on the ground. McKinley, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
This will be taken very short. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's been a long day for you.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Good team running. Let's go.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering. A certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Here's Breida. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah. I think he got a yard to the 41.
Ed Oliver made the tackle. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 5.
Good job right there. Good job right there. 6. Hey, keep it. Hey,
now it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. Past the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe than returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming.
It's third down and 4.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. And that'll set them back 5.
Right there. All day, baby.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Let's stop. Let's stop.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now it's Mack, draw play. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second down now, McKinley. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
He may try and run for this. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a fourth down. Here's Cameron Johnston now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing on second and 14. Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
On second down, McKinley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
A gain of 21 yards. First down, Eagles.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tied right there, he's tied right there. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Let it go.
There to stop him, Terrell Edmunds. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 21.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Check 37. 36, 36.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Check the backer. Chef.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
That was fourth and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And they will take a knee here. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. Space to maneuver at the 40. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Wilson on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line. Tonight's final score.
So, Charles, oh so close on one side to getting to that Super